best restaurants near Disney World. I'm in Disney World, I'm on vacation. Where am I going to find some of the best restaurants that I don't have to necessarily eat in the park, but I want to find the best restaurants? Hey there guys, my name is Sills and I'm a licensed realtor here in Central Florida. Love Disney World, relocated from New York. I've been coming to Disney World religiously between 2003 and 2012, every year, twice a year. Moved here in 2012, still obsessed with Disney. Oh my goodness. Think I'm obsessed, check my kids out, right? You don't want to meet them, they're crazy. I think my daughter would actually work for free as a tour guide in Disney World. Seriously. Anyways, so if you're on vacation here and you're trying to figure out what are some of the best restaurants, give us a call, man. We'll hook you up. But if you don't want to call us, right, we're not going to sell real estate, we promise. But seriously, so they just opened at I would say 2016. So within the last few years, they have been working on this new development called Margaritaville. And they opened it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I think 2 or 3 years ago. They opened Margaritaville. When they first opened Margaritaville, they had the Margaritaville Hotel, the Margaritaville Villas, and then all these restaurants started coming in. Some of my best restaurants in Margaritaville, I gotta tell you. Margaritaville, okay, where's Margaritaville? That's the first thing. So if you're familiar with the Disney area, it's gonna be on Route 192. Route 192, it's gonna be close to Target on Route 192, close to where 429 intersects with 192, and it's about maybe 15 or 20 minutes away from Disney World itself. So if you're staying in like Windsor Palms, Wyndham Hills, Emerald Island, anywhere in the Kissimmee, Claremont area, Margaritaville is going to be very close. If you're in Davenport, based upon where in Davenport you are, you may be 20 or 25 minutes away from there, right? Something like that. But it is worth the trip. The first thing they have is they have a dine-in movie theater. Why is that important? I know Disney has one in Disney Springs, but the reason why this one might be one you might want to choose is if Disney Springs is congested based upon the time of the year that you're here, then you could definitely check out the eat-in theater called Studio. It's called Studio Theater. It's a studio eat-in theater in Margaritaville, and it is stadium seated, right? So you still have the stadium seating. You go in, when you first go in, there's a bar in the front, and then you get seated, and then they have their waiters and their waitresses that come to you have a reclining seat, they have a table that swings around, and the waiter and waitresses come and you order your food and that kind of thing there. So it is really good. So Studio Movie Grill is what it's called. It finally came to me. Studio Movie Grill is what it's called. Right next to Studio Movie Grill, across from there is a British restaurant called Yeoman's, and it is just the bomb. They have unlimited mimosas every Saturday and Sunday, and unlimited Bloody Mary as well. And they have not only do they have a British menu, but they also have all kind of different stuff. Like my favorite meal in there is the Prime Minister shrimp. Beautiful. They have nice, if you're into wings, they oven bake their wings, but it looks like it's fried. I mean, how cool is that? They have burgers, they have the famous fish and chips, and guess what? I bought my British client there and they were impressed with the fish and chips. So that's telling me the fish and chips is the bomb. Okay, so Yeoman's is a really great place to try. Another place I like there in Margaritaville is Estevan's, right? Estevan's is owned by Gloria Estevan. She used to own a restaurant called Bongo's in Disney Springs, and then they moved it from Disney Springs and it's now in Margaritaville. Estevan's, I love it if you're into Cuban food. And with this restaurant, guess what? If you make reservations for dinner, they entertain you. So while you're dining, they have a combination of someone singing, they have their dancers dancing, and they have comedy. I mean, it is just awesome. Not only do they have the official restaurant inside, they also have a little like a palladium outside, where on the weekends they bring different artists to perform there, and there's outside bars and people come and dance and sing and all this stuff, right? So that's like a beautiful restaurant. And if you're into seeing a car show while you're at the restaurant or while you're eating, they have a car show in the Margaritaville area every weekend as well. So that is just absolutely awesome. There's also a Ford's Garage down there. They're specialized in burger. If you're into Ford's Garage Burger, definitely check it out. There's another restaurant also called Wharf. They're more of a seafood restaurant, and they are owned by the people that own BB King's, right? Same franchise, same kind of umbrella. So if you're into seafood and entertainment, they have different artists here as well while you dine. So So Wharf I would definitely recommend. So if you're in Margaritaville, I mean, there's so much different things to choose from. Right across from Margaritaville is we have Bahama Breeze, but we have the Bahama Breeze, we have Longhorn, and we have Olive Garden right across from there, right? So if you're into those kind of food. And across the street from there, you have Applebee's and you have Texas Roadhouse Rangers, right? Now, right next to Margaritaville is a water park. So guys, if you took the kids out to the water park, which was built like 3 years ago, I mean, I'm getting so old that I can't remember when they built these things. I moved there in 2012 and everything is so new to me because they've built so much stuff. But if you're at the water park and you leave the water park, you just up on over to Margaritaville. You could check out the Studio Movie and Grill, have a movie and feed the kiddies, or you could go to any one of these restaurants as well. They also have a candy store. You get any candy, any chocolate, whatever you want, weighed or unweighed. They have, I mean, seriously. And there's a game arcade as well. There's a game arcade with all kind of video games for kids. So Margaritaville may be a place that you may want to try out. Now, let's say you're at Disney and you don't want to be in Margaritaville. You want to go away from the tourist people. Like you want to be like a little bit away. Like you want to go where the locals are. There's a restaurant in Orlando called Christner's. They are in Winter Park. Now, obviously, this is not the tourist area, but it's probably about maybe 45 minutes to an hour from Disney World. So if you want to go exploring into Winter Park, I would actually recommend Christner's. It is a seafood and steak restaurant. They're known mostly for their steak. I prefer the salmon because I'm not a steak person. But if you're into steak, my husband is into steak and he loves it. Like, this is my favorite restaurant right now. I discovered this restaurant back in December of 2021. Just discovered it because my office was having a dinner and they invited us to this restaurant and I almost never went because I'm like, oh, I don't want to go downtown Orlando. I don't want to go to Winter Park, the traffic. But I'm so glad I did not listen to myself and I went. And the food is the bomb. They have fine wine, fine dining. You could dress up if you want to. If you're celebrating something and you want to leave the kiddies with a babysitter or with some family member and just take your special one out to a formal, nice, beautiful dinner and get dressed up, Christner's would be the place for that. It's in Winter Park, beautiful, nicely priced. They have a pianist there, so they play the piano while you're dining. They have a nice bar, just a beautiful ambiance, valet parking only. You would love Christner's. Now, if you didn't want to go so far as to go to Winter Park for Christner's, yeah, you could stop at International Drive. There's a section of International Drive that has Capitol Grill. And Capitol Grill is close to Christner in their ambiance and all that stuff. For some reason, I prefer Christner's. But Capitol Grill is beautiful too. It's a beautiful steakhouse. You could also have seafood, fine wine and dining. Right around from there, from Capitol Grill, we have Blue Martini. Blue Martini is a restaurant / club / bar / whatever you want it. So if you wanted to probably have dinner but then stay and dance afterwards, then Margaritaville will be your take. From Margaritaville, right next to Capitol Grill, we have Cuba Libre. So if you're into Spanish food and Spanish dancing, Cuba Libre would be your take. Cuba Libre has different dancers that dance as you eat. So you have the couples doing the tango and all kind of craziness there. So Cuba Libre may be somewhere to check out. Another place that's good right above that, it's in the same area, but above that is Opa. It's called Opa. And the reason why I say Opa is because they dance on top of the table. So it's a Greek restaurant. You go in, you eat, after you finish eating, they have belly dancers in there, and the belly dancers will take you up on top of your table that you just finished eating on, and they dance and throw napkins up in the air if it's your birthday. Opa! So if you're in Opa, if you walk into Opa, you might see a lot of napkins on the floor. It's not because they're dirty, guys. It's not. It's just because that's what they do in that restaurant. So Opa for sure would be a good take. And right next to Opa is BB King's. So if you wanted to go have dinner and then be entertained by the BB King dancers and entertainers and their singers, that's also somewhere to be. So Margaritaville, Christner's in Winter Park, or we could go into International Drive, and we have so many different choices right there where Capitol Grill is, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful area. And believe it or not, I don't know if you guys know this, but every single year in September, they do what is called the Orlando Magical Dining. So if you're visiting in September, I would say they started from like the end of August to the beginning of October. If you're visiting in that time frame, make sure you Google Orlando Magical Dining. What is Orlando Magical Dining? It's actually all the 5-star restaurants come together, because that's our slowest period in Central Florida. It's the end of August to the beginning of October, right? So they want to bring more people in the restaurants because there's less tourists in the area at that time. So all the 5-star restaurants, they come together and they develop a menu, and they have an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert for only $39 per person, right? Last year it was $37 because of COVID, I think. So can you imagine, you're going into a restaurant that one entree is normally like $60, and you're able to get a 3-course meal in that same restaurant for $40, $39.99. Well, of course, drinks are not included, and that's where they get you. But hey, this is a great way to try out a bunch of different restaurants. And when you Google Orlando Magical Dining, it's going to break down the different areas. So if you want to be International Drive, or if you want to go by Disney World, or if you want to go by Restaurant Row, which is another cool place. What's Restaurant Row? Another local place. Restaurant Row is going to be in the Dr. Phillips area of Orlando. It's on Sand Lake Road, and it's basically a block, or maybe 2 blocks, of nothing but fine dining restaurants. So we have restaurants like Ocean Prime, Moonfish, Eddie V's. I'm trying to remember them in my head. What else is there? A bunch of different restaurants. Seafood and Steakhouse. Martin Steakhouse is also there. Christie's Italian restaurant is also over there. That's called Restaurant Row. So if you Google Restaurant Row in Orlando, you're going to have a bunch of restaurants that come up there. All those restaurants are in the Orlando Magical Dining. So maybe you may want to think about visiting Orlando between the end of August to the beginning of October, especially if you're coming down for the Epcot Food and Wine Festival by Disney. If you come down for that and you want to kind of have something different after you visit Epcot with the Food and Wine Festival, then you want to up over to Restaurant Row, and you want to go first to Orlando Magical Dining and see what restaurants you want to pick from Restaurant Row. Make your reservations and you will be having fun, right? So I love Disney, love Central Florida, relocated here from New York. I've loved it ever since then. If you're thinking of relocating to Central Florida, have any questions about Central Florida, the old Disney area, or just want to know, hey Sandy, I'm coming down and I need to know where I should go to have fun, hit me up. You could text or call me at 407-791-4713, or our information should be below. Yes, I'm a realtor, but guess what? I like to have fun, I like to meet people, and I like to tell them the best places they could find food and fun. And if you don't want to do Disney fun, we have other fun you could do as well. Thank you so much for listening. See you on the next video.
3, 2, 1.